Well, good morning, train simulator driver. G'day, viewers. Melbourne, Australia. Don't really expect to get many viewers because this isn't an advertised stream, but we'll see what happens. So, I got Cathcart Circle. Good on me. I'm just going to do the introduction to the loco now, and I'm going to piss fart around, and we'll see what happens. Now, the other thing I've got to do is get the Raildriver settings for this loco. I'll do that off stream. That'd be boring. So, in Glasgow, frame rate 38, 40.
Welcome to
Outside Glasgow, sitting on our Cat 60.
The operation of a Class 314 electric multiple unit in ScotRail livery.
Looks nice. The fronts are a bit dirty, sides very clean, like they've just been through a washer. In Glasgow station itself, the details are awesome. All right, time to get on the train. Climbing up. For the purpose of this training module, some interactive elements are locked.
Take a seat in the driver's position. This is where you'll be spending most of your time.
What if the driver's position's in the Kama Sutra? Turn on the beepy. Beepy on. We don't care about those. Heaters, lights. Should turn the lights inside. Yep, we'll need that. Open doors, I guess. Okay, let's jump in the chair.
To activate the control desk, insert the master key.
Boop. And reverser. Yeah, seems to work with the Raildriver nicely enough. Okay. Reverser forward. That's interesting. There's an off position. Forward, neutral, reverse. All right. Okay. What else we got on here? Got headlights. Destination board light. Headlights and marker lights, fair enough. Foot warmer, can't turn that on though, it's boring. Indicator dimmer, low. High, did it make any difference? Maybe it will at night. Cab lights, no difference, maybe it will at night. Pantograph down, don't want to do that. We've got wiper controls. We've got our brake control there, which is currently an emergency. Yep, alright. And this lever does nothing, that's fine. That's the reverser in neutral. Boring thing. Alright. The auxiliary set button. Ah. Okay. Press and hold. Not just press numbnuts. Beepy beepy. Go reset beepy beepy. Bugger me, I've got a viewer. Waiting for the main reservoir to charge. Maybe this thing. Now, is this a vacuum brake or an air brake? That amount of bar would suggest it's probably an air brake. Press and hold the raise pantograph close MCB. Red one. It's good to know the tutorial labels are right. Okay, let's put it in forward.
This train is now ready to depart. Use the throttle to apply power and get moving.
Does DRA work? Oh, yeah. Oh, I can turn it on and off. Okay, fair enough. All right then, let us move. So frame rate's dropped a little now, down to 52.
Coasting is a method used to efficiently maintain speed and reduce motor stress and maintenance requirements.
And probably not go that fast, but that's okay.
Is important. If you begin overspeeding, apply a small amount of brake by moving the train brake.
I've already begun overspeeding.
Test of the emergency braking system.
Oh, goody.
Put the train brake into emergency.
Exciting. That wasn't very emergency. It's a bit slack.
The emergency brake has been applied and the train will need to be recovered before continuing.
Set the throttle to off. Done that. Now what? I've done that. Oh, that one. I set the reverser to off. Okay, now I've done the right thing. Everything's yelling at me. Set the train brake to release.
Great work. Now let's get moving again.
It's beeping at me. Ooh. Alright, let's move then.
Nice job. We can now continue the journey to Glasgow Central.
Wonder what that horrible beeping is. It's not this beastie. Oh, maybe it was that beastie. I just need to press it a lot. That's if I press DRA when I'm driving. Yeah, it's cut the power off. Will I get power back though? Off we go. So far, so good. So I had a look around Glasgow earlier. The modelling of that station is brilliant, but of course you're hardly ever there. But that's life. We've got a 40 zone coming up. All right, we're in a 40 zone. I've got a 20 zone coming up. Still maintaining 60 frames a second for now. So far it sounds alright. Looks alright. Running the tutorial, so limited in what I can do at the moment. Scenery looks alright. Lots of graffiti. Some of it's new. Very repeated, like usual. I should be doing about 20 very shortly, but that's okay. It's only a tutorial, who cares?
You're now approaching Glasgow Central. Use the train brake to apply braking force and slow the train down.
Yes, boss. So as you can see, the Raildriver controls do work. Good morning to the people who are watching. Feel free to introduce yourselves in the chat. I've only just got hold of this beast. This is my first drive, so I'm running the tutorial. So far, so good. The modelling's nice. The overhead's really nice. I like this. And it doesn't seem to suffer from the disappearing overhead problems that we had on Great Western Express. It's thick enough that it doesn't get anti-aliased out. It's nice and green like copper would be. I quite like that. So as we're coming into Glasgow, the frame rate's starting to drop a little, but not alarmingly. Going into platform 5. To come down to 15 mile an hour. Done rusty rails. I've only just started playing the tutorial. I like the way it looks. I like the way it sounds. It's certainly interesting outside. Frame rates are dropping a bit now. That went down to 30. It's back up to 60 again. Something's bugging it over there. Yeah, look at that. When I look over that way, really drops down. But am I liking it so far? Yes. Looks all right. Sounds relatively realistic. It's got flange squeal, finally. There it is. I think the only other one with flange squeals, Long Island Railroad. So we're just coming into Glasgow now. This is just a tutorial. I don't know how much it'll let me wander around Glasgow to show you when we get there. Probably not at all. there's the big building, this giant glass roof. Lots more platforms over that side. So it's certainly, it's a nice model. It's a pretty station. So I think even though I've started playing it, so far I'd say yes to your question. I haven't really seen anything that would say no, not really. I just realised I'm waving my hands around and you can't see it at all. I should wave my hand around up here.
Ticket checks are in operation at this station. Please have your tickets available for inspection.
I love the buffers. I'm sad that the train sound cuts out completely when you're in the cab, though. There's lots of sound out here and nothing in the cab. Yeah, go a bit further. I almost want to know what happens if you hit these buffers. Yeah, flange squeal's nice. It makes it much more realistic on the tight corners. Yeah, I'm going to find out if you can squish the buffers. I need to know. Inquiring minds. Come on, don't block it. Do they squish? Nah. Oh, well, that's all right. Kind of wish they did, but they don't. Set the train brake to step 3. We shall do that.
Take a quick glance of the platform to ensure all is safe before unlocking the doors.
Whatever. They can look after themselves. Well, the doors are open, so... Window opens. You have got some more controls up here, so you can turn on the TPWS, which I did. You can turn on DSD, which I haven't, because I want to be able to stand up and wander around. If you have that turned on and you stand up, get out of the chair, the train brakes go on. These ones, few light switches, nothing exciting. You need this to turn the train on. Turning the lights on and off. Guard's key lets you open the doors. There's a winder. Doesn't look like it's active though. That's okay. I thought I had opened the doors. I think this is another case where the tutorial wants you to press the loco buttons, not use the Raildriver. It always seems to get confused about that. So we're going to set this thing to tail lights. Looks like we're changing ends. That's cool. Set the reverser to off. And remove the master key.
With this cab shut down, head to the other end of the train and bring it into operation.
This tutorial's a lot more than we... Could help have opened the door, wouldn't it? These tutorials, it's a lot more than the others. So, quite happy. I don't think I've ever had a tutorial that went through the change ends process before. Normally you've got to figure that out for yourself. And even though my passenger settings are relatively high in engine.ini, this is more passengers than usual. And I noticed it when I think Troya streamed it on console. He had quite a lot of passengers too. So they seem to have boosted it. Maybe it's a prelude to rush hour. Now I didn't isolate TPWS at the other end. Not if that matters. Find out, won't we? Sit in the driver's seat. Insert the master key. Headlights and marker lights. There we go. Set the reverser to neutral.
Now we've changed ends and completed our passenger boarding, set the doors to locked.
Close doors. Hey, that time I believed the Raildriver. Isn't that interesting? Reverse it to forwards.
Proceed to the next stop at Pollokshields West, unguided this time, and see how you get on.
You know, an Aussie would call that station Bollockshields, because that's just what we're like. All right, brakes off. Tutorial didn't tell me to turn the brakes off. Naughty tutorial. Let's get rid of these things. So we're in a 15-mile limit here, so I better behave myself a little bit. Now, is that actually off, or is that... Yeah, it's off. It's hard to tell. It's nicely modelled. I like that you can see through the glass, suggesting the glass isn't there at all, but that's okay. Clouds are moving. It's the new cloud model, the new skyboxes, which you'd expect. Textures on the columns are a little bit obvious that they're two-dimensional, but that's about the only negative in this station. I think everything else is done really nicely. Quite like it. Should pay a little bit of attention to the train, I suppose. A little bit. We can hear some rail squeal in here now. And they've got the unused bridge pylons. Apparently this station used to have more tracks. There's an interesting video on YouTube of them extending this in, I think, the 1940s to make it wider. It was quite an interesting exercise. And now they've made it smaller again. Alright, so when the back of our train gets past this overhead gantry, we can power up. Which would be about now. Not much though, we can only go to 20 mile an hour. It is a slow route. So if you like a bit of high speed running, this probably isn't the route for you. Because I think the highest speed on it's 40. Why have I still got that thing turned on? Can't turn it off. Alright. I'm trying to turn off the destination marker. It's going a little bit quick, but I like it without the HUD. Frame rate sitting on 49. So I've got an i5 10,000 and something, and a 3070 Ti video card. And I'm running at 2K output, so with this frame rate, I'm pretty happy with this frame rate actually. It's not quite getting up to 60 all the time, but it's pretty decent. If you didn't have a vertical sync monitor, the variable frame rate might give you the shits with some tearing, but I've got a G-Sync monitor. So either G-Sync or V-Sync, you'll be fine. If you had a lower speed one, you might want to set your frame rate a bit lower so you don't get tearing. 20 mile an hour now. Well, actually, I dropped back down to 15 there because I was talking to you and not paying attention. I should just pay attention. Cruising along. Doing 30 a little bit early, but that's okay. I bore easily. So we're coming up to Bollock Shields West shortly. Lots of AWS bells. In my headphones, that sounds like it's behind me, so they've done that kind of nice. I've never heard any surround effects in this game before. I don't know if it's intentional or if it's just the way it sounds to me. Texturing on the walls will probably give the console people the shits, but it's good enough. I have noticed on the console streams their resolution's a lot lower than the PC resolution. And this is the other thing you'll find a lot of in this route. I like busy passenger operations. I like getting yellow and red signals. Now, it doesn't brake when you go that way. Okay, so you have to brake yourself. So that's a yellow signal because we're changing tracks. We're diverting off to the right. That's what that big diagonal thing meant. And we have got a red signal coming up. Raildriver seems to be working well. I haven't looked at the button mappings as yet, so I'll be using keyboard for all those bits and pieces. I'll map out the buttons and put my usual template on the Dovetail forum later this morning. Station's before the red signal by the looks of it, which is good. Just cruise on in there. Wow, a tunnel with light in it. That's new, Dovetail. Except they finally figured out light actually goes in under bridges and tunnels. That's warning me about the red signal coming up. Just get in here and stop. They have got stop markers on the platforms. You can just see it up there. Oh, just past it. So they do seem to match what the train's telling you to do, or what the game's telling you to do anyway. Alright, let's open the doors. Did I just... No, I double pressed it.
Good work. That concludes all the basics of operating this train.
Well, that's the tutorial done. Didn't speed too much. Yeah, I think this is kind of cool. Now, the other things that you've got in here, let's just have a look in. Did I really mean to click that? No. Oh well. We shall hop back into the route. Eventually. Alright, so in the timetable you've got a class 37. I don't think that has Raildriver. The shed definitely doesn't have Raildriver. The 47, I don't think so. I don't think that's one of the Raildriver locos as well. So, Don Rusty Rails, you got a Raildriver after watching my videos. Cool. It is hard to get back to keyboard after using Raildriver, you're right. I particularly hate when there's a detent in the controls and you've got to long press things. After you've done that 1,000 times on Long Island Railroad, your fingers start to hurt. So, none of our diesels are going to have Raildriver, but let's just have a look at what their services actually are. Alright, so we've got, there's a rail tour. 2 rail tours for that one. For the class 66, we have an engineering train. That's probably something like a ballast train, I guess. Be interesting to see if it lets you load and unload, but let's have a look. I'm going to have to use keyboard for this, I think, because unless they've changed it, this will be interesting, actually. I'll try and remember how to use this thing. It's been a while. Cab lights for a start. We've got passenger set, but we should have goods set. The engine is running. You can definitely hear that. Reverse it in. No, so it doesn't obey the Raildriver. We've got to turn all these on, don't we? Run. Because this is actually an American train disguised. Direct brake is released. Release. Headlights. Oh, that turned them off. Yard work. Daytime. About nighttime. Oh, that's hard to press. Okay, nighttime. And gauge lights. Not sure where you turn on TPWS in this one. Maybe it's up there. Instrument lights. That's where all the other switches are. Oh well. We'll drive without TPWS, because I can't remember how to turn it on in this train, unless anybody knows. You should be able to throttle up. The brake should be released, I think. Oh, that's right, you could pull this one and hold it until it actually releases. There it goes. Brake pipe's going up. Their cylinders are coming back down to 0, so it should move soon. Maybe. It's creeping. Must be heavy, whatever it is. Alright, let's have a look outside and see what it is. What is our engineering train? It does look like ballast. So what are we going to do with our ballast? That's the question. Oh, it looks like we just drive it. Doesn't look like there's any loading instructions. Let's have a look in the schedule. No, it's just a couple of go-vyas, so there's no loading or unloading. There's no dropping ballast on the track. Doesn't look like it. All right. Well, we're not here to watch an old train that doesn't do anything interesting, so let's just go back to the 314. The other two diesels that are there are rail tour services. I had a look at them before. Would be nice if that ballast train was a load and an unload. That would be quite nice. Let's just explore. Let's have a look at our scenarios. We've got around and around. So you run the Glasgow Circle in each direction while performing passenger duties. It sounds like the services. Extra time, run a match day service. So the streams have suggested it's a stadium, so it looks like you're taking off on a slightly different route down there, which is cool. Divergent. So you're going to Neilston, which is down in the bottom left corner of the map, via Newton. I would have thought they'd turn the train around at the first turning point rather than going via Newton. That's okay. And Collector. You're going to go and collect a stuck train. Okay, that sounds vaguely interesting. Oh, that's the one that uses the special loop that no one else never get to use for anything else. Dreech Day. I have to Google that word. And Pure Baltic, poor weather. So there'll be lots of yellows and reds on this one. Sounds like my kind of thing, but let's go and have a look at the services. This is 208 services in the timetable. Let's see how many of those are for the 314. Since we're going to drive, let's have a bit of wetness, bit of rain. It's Scotland after all, bit of wind. So looks like we've got quite a few. There's what, 1 page, 2 pages, 3, 4, 5. So it'll be near enough to 10 pages because we're halfway through there. So there's a bit to choose from. It looks like you've got lots of different starts and stopping points as well. So it looks like they're using quite a bit of the network, which is good. So it's a little bit like Long Island Railroad, I suppose. There's lots of starting points and lots of stopping points, so you get a bit of variation. That's kind of nice. So different ways to get to the places as well. It's the stock move. I'll turn this train around. Okay. That looks kind of interesting. Oh well. I won't drive one that early in the morning because it'll be dark. Let's drive one at about 7:30. 7:30 should be pretty light. Glasgow to Central Neilston. So that's not going to go around the loop. Most of the streams I've seen have gone around the loop actually. So let's not. Let's see what this looks like. Better get this set so it matches whatever the train is when I come into it. Alright, let's see if the wiper control works. I'll have to turn it on first, won't I? Let's put the master key in. And let's go and turn on TPWS. Good. Back in the chair. Does the wiper work? Yes. And does it stop? Oh, look at that. A Raildriver button that works. And headlights? That seems to work. Does it really do it though? Let's have a look. Yep, they're on. Don't know how you turn on the top ones. Alright, so we're supposed to unlock the doors. Raildriver buttons do work for that. Or did they? Alright, now they'll work. That door's locked. I don't want them to be locked though. I don't think they actually are locked, despite what it says. Let's reset that annoying thing. So the doors are locked, but they're getting in and out. That's vaguely funny. I'd call that a bug. Alright, there's bug number 1. Now it's figured out they're locked. That was interesting because they were still getting in and out then, as you do. I think it happens on the Rosa too. One of the funny things there, I've got my passenger settings cranked up kind of high. Whoop, someone just flew up in the sky. Look at that. Don't mind us, we're just going to stand up here in the beams. Oh well. Another train over there, so we might have a dual departure. time to go. Kind of glad we're in front. Sounds like the door's closed. Good. Now we are in forward already. Don't think we have to turn anything else on. Apart from maybe our... that's what we want. Oh, they actually do work. They didn't work in the tutorial. Alright, brakes are off. So we should be able to power up. Do it like a passenger driver, straight to the highest notch. And we're supposed to stay under 15 in here, so we'll do that. Did you hear that on the throttle? Sounds like there's a little air wheeze when you come off the throttle. Yeah, the rain works. Wiper does stuff. Nice little departure view. Hope none of those red signals are for me, or this train's about to stop. Why are they all flickering like that? Can you see that on the stream? It's a bit annoying that they flicker. Wouldn't want to be epileptic, would you? Do I see 90 miles per hour up there? Really? Frame rate's sitting on 35 to 40 right now. So I guess that's a little like Hamburg-Lübeck. There's so many signals it gives it the shits. It'll probably pick up. We should be able to do 20 by now, I think. I'm amazed that says 90. That's surprising. Love the rail joint noises. That's a nice touch. Oh, now we're down to 25. That's more like a Cathcart speed limit. Don't know where that 90 came from. Changing tracks again here. I had a brief dip down with a red warning on the frame rate there, so it got down to below 10. Very briefly. Must be an asset that needs a bit of optimization there somewhere. Does the alert button on the Raildriver work? Yes. But it stopped me. Alright. That's interesting. Now I'll have to reset the train. So I'm going to have to use the Q button because the alert, it does work, does all the graphic things, but doesn't let you move. You're not letting me move, are you? Do I put it back and forwards? What have I done to it? No? Alright, let's try and put it all the way to off. Brakes on. So let's put it in emergency. And back to on. Release the brakes. Reset that. That looks like it's going to let me drive. So that's interesting. I certainly pressed the button in time and it did release, but it put the brakes on anyway. So this signal, I'll use the Q key and we'll see what happens. And I'm still allowed to accelerate. So it looks like the Raildriver alert button doesn't do everything. It's only doing part of the job. That's a bit tedious. bit over speed. Universe will survive. We've got a diverge coming up on this signal. The blooming is a bit excessive on the signals. Heading off down the left-hand side of the circle route. And we are supposed to stop here. Ooh, lots of passengers. Just stopping next to these stop markers up here. In theory, I'll be able to see the monitors through the window. But no. Wonder how close I was. A bit early. That's why I can't see them. The monitors I'm talking about are these things down in the bottom left-hand corner here. Just spin around so you can see them. If I can get out of the bush. Let's go into the free camera. Be cool if they were active. But those were the stop markers that I should have been stopping at. But I stopped a little early. Obviously, these passengers don't want to go to Neilston, do they? They're all going somewhere else. They always look so grumpy. Alright then. Oh, we ended up facing backwards. Brakes off. And away we go. If you want me to jump out and look at things at stations, sing out. For the Aussies who like reskinning stuff, these look a little bit like Harris Blue Trains to me. I reckon if you stuck 2 or 3 of these sets together... Going a bit fast. Let's just turn off the HUD so we don't know. Drive by feel instead of by law. There we go. Brakes aren't too bad. There's a lot of stopping up front, and then when the rheostatics come off, it's quite slow to stop. You notice it always comes out on the other side. So all my doors are on the platform at least. There's another train coming by the sounds of it. He's better at stopping than me. Right. How did I end up on a bridge? Where am I? There we are. I want to come down here because I want to do a departure. Brakes off. Now that sounds like 40-year-old traction motors. And yeah, I know I'm speeding. I'm going to keep doing it. I'm just like that. 40 feels like a good speed. Lots of stations stopping. Oh, I'm going to stop earlier this time. These brakes are a bit hard to get used to. If only they knew I was driving. Yeah, looks like the little lights on the sides of the carriage do actually work. I think I just saw that come on when the doors opened. Stop flickering on me, train. Oh, let's see if these lights go out when the door's shut. There must be a passenger walking into me there somewhere, bumping me around all the time. Yes, the lights go off. That's cool. Off we go. Oh, it's so annoying what's happening there. .35 is our next limit, so we'll call it 40. Seems fair. If we get a break with a long distance between stations, I'll see how fast it will go. So I don't know if you noticed that then, but when I put it on step 1, there was no brake pressure. So it was just using the rheostatic brakes. When I put it onto step 2, it went up to 1 bar. And when I put it onto step 3, it just crawled its way up to 3.5. Of course, the rail fan would be on the wrong side of the fence, wouldn't they? That's not like a rail fan.
Ticket checks are in operation at this station. Please have your tickets available for inspection.
Wet platforms are really nice. They look good. Just acknowledge this yellow signal for the TPWS and then we'll go for a little fly. See what the outside looks like. Doesn't want me to. Mustn't be a magnet anywhere here. Okay. So the modelling, what goes about, you can't get up very high, but it looks like the modelling goes a fair distance. Oops, let's get on the platform. At least you can reset that from outside, that's good. And you can hear it outside, that's good too. Some of the trains you can't. Here's my train. Hope that's quick enough and we don't go through the signal. I think we might go into emergency. Ah, we went through the signal. Ah! Let's... No. I didn't want to continue that one. I should read things before I click them. Here's me being a smartass trying to set up a nice arrival shot without being used to the brakes. Oh well. We don't want to run the 314 introduction again anyway. I want to run something else. Let's just jump out of there. What I think I might do is go out to a service that starts at the other end and runs back, and we'll see what the other end looks like, the country end. We've seen the city end. So let's have a look. Actually, let's see before I do that. So is the train available in the livery editor? I'm not even sure what this one's called. It's a 314, isn't it? VR class 101, class 314. So yeah, it is. So that's this one. So we can go into the livery editor. That's good. All right, back into explore, and let's find ourselves a service that starts the other end. Let's have a bit of wetness, bit of wind strength, but no rain. The windscreen wipers do give me the shits just a little. And we want to go, no, it's too far. Neilston stock move, no. Neilston to Glasgow Central. Oh, you'll do. 6:58 AM, surely the sun will be up. Surprise, it's a commuter service. All right, so let's... Oh yeah, key. Forward, that should let us open the doors, I think. Good. Let's go and turn this on. Reset it because it's annoying. Pantograph probably should have already been up, I guess. Lights, headlights and marker lights. Don't think there's anything we have to do over there. Let's turn on our instrument lighting. Wait till 6:59. That's a whole 20 seconds away. What are we going to do? Anyway, brakes are off, reverser is in, forward. We should be good to go. You know what? Had to. Just seemed necessary. Alright, time to go. Lock left doors. Driving into the sun. Let's get rid of that marker. So certainly much more country than the other end. It's like a little village. Cookie cutter houses. Definitely country at this end. You can see a bit of the regular texture marking in the scenery there. I know that bugs some people. I don't really care. I'm here to drive trains. But I'm sure that some individuals will go off on their usual scenery rant. The dawn sky in the distance looks nice there. Oh, the overhead catenary is different here too. It's looks like concrete poles. That's kind of cool. So we're allowed to do 50 mile an hour. Let's see how fast it does go, because we've got 2.7 miles to the next station. I'm just curious, how fast can we go? 6.5. It's maintaining a capped frame rate up this end of the line. Oh, me driving so fast has put someone off. They've just left. Oh, he's not obeying the rules. I'm going to go now. 80. 85. Who says it's not a high-speed train? 90. Nearly. 88. That's where we go into the future, isn't it? I think I better put the brakes on, because I've got to stop in a mile. Might take a little while to come down from this. It's braking fairly effectively. The poles are definitely concrete, aren't they? Or maybe steel. That one's a little bit shiny. They might be steel. I can feel an overshoot coming on. Well, maybe not. You know what? That was almost perfect. From 90 miles an hour. Let's go look for collectibles. God, there's a lot of them. Get me through. So many people. This one. Wait for 7:05 and 30. Okay. I can hear another train coming, so I hope I don't get run over. I suppose that's what happens when you do 90 mile an hour, isn't it? Nessie poster. And a map. More posters? No, these just stay blank. Ticket machine? Geez, they look familiar. Pretty sure I used to work for the company that made them. That was a different life. A long, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Okay, no more collectibles on this station. It's almost time to go anyway, so we've got time to walk back there. I don't need to teleport. It's interesting, it's a nice little lean going there. It's interesting the curve's set up that way, given it's a stopping thing. I wouldn't have thought they'd do that. Normally only do that on high-speed networks. In stations, anyway. Alright, lock the doors and let's go. Brakes off. See what we look like from the outside. Oh, there we go. Was that wheel slip or was it just confused, do you reckon? Imagine living in those houses that are all the same. You come home drunk and wonder which one was yours. Nice little village. Is that a farm or a quarry? Dunno. Yeah, I'm pushing my luck on the brakes. How far are we going to overshoot? A lot. A lot. All the way through it. Oh. There's no signal here. That's lucky for me. Because we can sneak back in with our tail between our legs. Note to self, you can't brake from 65 mile an hour in a station length. This train can't do it. That's a nice shot. Yeah, they've done the wheels nicely. That's a bit unusual for this game. They actually look like they're turning. Almost back in the platform. All the way. Yeah, that's right, fella. You be embarrassed. That'll do. Loading up. Oops, better go back into forward, that might help. Something about the windows are a bit weird. .7 miles to the next one at William Wood. What would William do? Does William had wood? Lots of nice scenery in this one. This close to the track, they've modelled it nicely. So I'm just watching the brake gauge there. I put it into step 3. The pressure came up a tiny bit. Alright, so it puts the air brakes on when you've almost stopped. So it's using the rheostatics until you've nearly stopped. That explains the braking, I guess. Yeah. Collectible time. I'm going to close that again, duffer. Let me out, let me out. So one of those little trains hiding up here. Nope. Uh-oh, fell off. No, there's a map up there. Looks like you can climb up anywhere, which is handy. Map. Actually, let's have a look at the map. So what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. It's about that 26, 27 stations, somewhere around there. That'll be a tourist map. And it's time to lock the doors, apparently. So I'll just teleport back into the cab. I couldn't lock the doors from outside. That's interesting. Brakes off, and away we go. So there's no trains to anywhere else in this platform, but not many of those people got on. So David writes, so you can play as a guard on this train by turning off door control on the front cab and keep door control on the back. I guess you could. You'd have to keep DSD turned off because you wouldn't be in the seat. But it might let you do it. I'll give it a crack at the next station. I'll turn off TPWS as well in case you can't hear it, so... Let's try that at the next station. It's an interesting thought, David. And no, you're not meant to go this fast. That's why I turn off the HUD, so I don't have to know. Coming into Muir End. I like that the signals are so far from the platform, so if you screw it up, you've got a little bit of recovery time. Alright. Open our right doors. Jump out of here. The guard's key's not in there anyway, but let's turn this off. Let's go down the other end. The guard's key, is there a key on this panel? No, so we have to go and put the key in here. Okay. Probably should have gone to ding ding now though, shouldn't I? So, brakes off. Will it let me drive if I'm not in the chair? No, it doesn't look like it. But I suppose what you could do is you could do all that. You could do your ding ding, close your door, control 0 to teleport, because then you can drive.
Security personnel tour this station.
It didn't recognise my brake release. So it wouldn't let me release the brake when I was down the other end of the train, David. Yeah, you could jump on an AI train, I guess. If we jumped out of this train and let it sit for long enough, it would ask me if I wanted to give up control, so we could test that if you want. It is an interesting thought. I kind of like the idea. Can anyone remember how long it takes before the computer goes, do you want to give up the control of this train? Looks like it's off. Pity that guy wasn't in the station. We could have raced over and tried it with that one. Alright. Let's open the doors so it starts.
Passengers are reminded that smoking is prohibited at all
Let's
stations.
wander down the other end and wait for it to ask if we want to give it up. Let's go looking for collectibles while we do that. Because just standing there would be boring. We've got our usual building a bigger, better railway. Got some fairly generic looking ticket machines. And a bloke that falls off the platform a lot. Can we go down the stairs? Yep. Can we get out? Nope. Can we get out that way? Nope. Makes me wonder why they model all that and then they don't let you out. It's billed as the game that you can walk around, but you can't walk very far. Another map. Newspapers. Are they a Scottish paper? The Daily News. International moose count underway apparently, and Granny wins World Wrestling Championship. Okay. Someone's amusing. Now let's jump in here. Sometime soon it should ask me if I want to give up control. Let's go and make sure the guard's key's still here. It is. So now we just got to wait for it to give up. Ask me if I want to give up control. I can't remember exactly how long that takes, but it's been a little while, so we're just trying this for David to see if a guard mode works or not. If it doesn't ask soon, what we might do is just go and jump on any train, because we can explore on foot. If we popped out at Glasgow, there's bound to be a train that's leaving soon. Ah, yes, I want to give up control. I can hear it's closing the doors already by itself. How far this way can I go without falling out? Not very. Now we do what guards do. Sit down. Do pretty much nothing. Play with the door. That's what guards do, isn't it? I'll have to race up there at the next station, David. I'm not sure if the AI actually obeys switches like that. Fault light. Tickets, please. Tickets, please. Door interlock. Oh, that's nice. That light works. Does that mean I can't open them? Let's try. Ha! Can. Sounds like it's making the train stop too, doesn't it? Or maybe it was already stopping for the station. Which side's the platform on? This side. This would be the right side. No? They're both open left. And he's hoping it doesn't leave me behind. I just have a feeling it's gonna... Oops, that way. Let's go and see what this panel says. Hello, replacement driver. Yeah, your switch is off. But you can still close the doors by the sounds of it. Because he's just closed them. Didn't wait for my signal, naughty driver. Five's meant to be stop. Trying to do this without falling off. Can't get out any further than that. You notice me looking around, trying to see around the corner. Is that silly? So what's your guess on which side the platform's on? Yes, you could pretend to be a guard, David, but you can't actually do it by the looks of things. So where's our platform? That side or that side? That side by the looks. So let's beat him to it. I think we might go and take this train back before he drives away. Come on, let me in. Get out. Go on, get out. Train stolen. Doors are locked and off we go. Why can't I throttle? Are you not in forwards? No, it wasn't in forwards. Silly AI driver. 40 mile zone. Oh, I think that was kind of a fun thing to try, David. You could sort of do it. You'd want to be careful that you didn't get trapped out there outside, though, while you were standing on the platform watching passengers. It probably wouldn't take that much work to make a guards mode, I suspect. Because all you'd really have to do is make the AI driver wait for your signal before he does anything. They wouldn't really need to change the AI driver's ability to open and close doors and things like that. They could just leave that. I've been known to get off the trains, David. If it's a long, boring freight run, I sometimes get off, walk away, leave it to its own devices. Yeah, our driver made us late. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. How am I going to recover 3.5 minutes when the stations are so close together? Yeah, I do have Isle of Wight. You could almost get off that one and walk and still catch up with it. Oh yeah, TPWS is still turned off. And I have a red signal coming. Can I reach that switch? Yep. My last run on the Isle of Wight, David, was The Clinchfield F7s and a caboose. Doesn't take long to get from one end to the other at 90 mile an hour. Not much in the way of collectibles on this platform. This is, oh, here's one of the little trains. Can you go in here? Yep. Newspapers.
Always try to carry a bottle of water with you. If you feel faint, seek help at next.
No water, no water, no water, no water, no water, no water. No one listens to that lady, do they? You could do a pseudo guards mode this way. Because you could close the doors. Don't know if it's doing it or not. No, it's not. So you'd have to stand up here and use your door close thing. No, it won't even do that. I guess it will. So they're closed. You can do your ding thing. And go and jump in the chair. So you could do it that way, David. Alright. See you later, mate. No, it does not think my doors are locked. Let me guess, the other ones are open. No. So pressing all those buttons did nothing. Oh well, all good. Let's get the flock, as they say. Still says I'm on time. I'm only 2 minutes late. Must be a private rail company if 2 minutes late's on time. It's a bit dark down here. Almost at the end of the line, I think. Feels kind of like we're going uphill a little bit. Let's find out. We are, look at that. Oh, and now approaching frame rate hell. How high can we get in Glasgow? Oh, they let us get up fairly high, so you can sort of see the city. Just follow our train in. Interesting, I didn't have to acknowledge that. Oh god, that's red. Is it going to stop? Oh, it went yellow. Yes! Now I've got to reset though. Oh no. Is it going to let me drive? Yep, it should. What a way to end a stream that would be on a spad. Oh, hang on, Jamie did that yesterday. Because if he can do it, I can. So I think, Don Rusty Rails, after this run, I'm happy to answer your question. Yes, I'd recommend it. I think it's fun. The only things I've spotted that are wrong with it are tiny. It's nothing earth-shattering. So I'll be streaming again on Sunday morning Melbourne time, starting at 8:30. If you want to come and watch, it'll be Cathcart Circle again, and I will have had a bit more practice, and I will pick some scenarios in advance. I want to run that rescue scenario. That sounds like fun. And we'll see what else I end up doing. Just take you for a look around Glasgow station, so I won't actually open the doors of this service just yet. We're just going to leave it sit here, because if I don't open the doors, the scenario won't finish. But the station's fairly nicely modelled. A few shops and things, nice big concourse. Sort of the impression of the inside of the shop, so it's sort of like a model railway in that respect. You can't get much further than this, I think, from memory. Yeah, you get stuck here by an invisible wall.
If you see anything suspicious,
So 7:34, the clock's actually working. That's cool. But fairly nice. Just go and open the doors. Oh, not that platform. Must be over here. I'll go and open the doors and let these people out. I just thought you might like to see the station. It's fairly the other side. That'll teach me to keep the doors open. Alright, let's let them out. Alright folks, that will be the end of today's stream. Thank you very, very much for viewing. I appreciate the questions and the comments, and it's been fun trialling out the guard mode and the other things. So, or the lack of a guard mode, I should say. I'll be streaming again Sunday morning. It will be Cathcart Circle. Next week I'll be driving Steam on Trains 2019, I think. Out on a line to Healesville. Will I get a medal for that? That's silver. Not that surprising given I gave up control of the train. Alright, so perhaps I'll see you Sunday morning and say hello then. Thanks very much for watching and see you next